Well, this is the third iteration of my motorbike. I'm just doing it, I'm trying to make it similar to what the original Harleys were, with belt drives and so forth. I completely stripped it down again to the bare frame, and I have a wide crank system that will avoid the engine when I reinstall it. This is just the beginning. I put a special seat on that'll make it more comfortable for men. You get my meaning. It's a laid-back seat that sits further back on the pedals if you should need them. Then, instead of a gas tank on the tank, the original Harley had a little round, the very first one had a little round one they just strapped onto the tank, and an oil tank behind the seat. Well, this is a stainless steel round tank I found from a fellow in Ohio, and I figured out a way to mount it. Put it on a flat aluminum piece, and then mounted a bag with all these pouches and so forth, and it's held in place with the original motor mount that came with the engine, so nobody can steal it. There's the top of the gas tank, and I have a BSA. Let's see, where is that? Anyways, let's see, a BSA switch for the gas right there, that little red knob under there, tucked away so it can't be seen. I'm going to be installing a 12-volt system, which is really going to be hard with this type of engine because it doesn't have the right magneto, with motorcycle lights, horn, blinkers, headlight, you name it, everything. There's the tail light. There's our motorcycle tail light, really bright. I've had it on already before I started taking it apart and so forth. And I have a professional bicycle stand called a Feedback Pro Sports Stand, and I'm just practicing truing wheels. I also have a stand to true wheels. Probably my nephew Aaron would know how to do this well, and I'm getting pretty good at it. This is the tires that were originally on the bike, and I'm just practicing, and it was off, boy. And just practicing truing. This is collapsible, and I can take it with me and make it so much easier. And of course, I have that French stand, bicycle stand, that can hold the weight of this bike. This bike will be 80 to 85 pounds. The original Harley was 185 pounds and had over a 400cc motor, but it didn't produce much horsepower. I'd say about 3.5 horsepower. My motor, after I took it apart and rebuilt it and did quite a few things with it, I think I have about 5 horsepower, which is quite a bit for this thing. It's going to be all belt driven. The original Harley, I think, had a chain and it kept breaking, and that's what happens to me. I'll get going. I've had this up to over 50 originally, and there goes the chain, it breaks, and it just had too much torque. So I'm going belt driven, just like the original Harley, and like the old Whizzer motorbikes that I always wanted one when I was a kid. I don't know if people remember that. They were around really in the 1930s. They looked just like the original Harleys, but they started mass production in 1948 to 1965. They make them again, but I'm making my own, so it'll be a pretty cool thing. I'll go on and do more recordings later. Well, here it is. I've worked on it for a year now, trying to figure out how to get this to work. It's so much harder than a motorcycle because it has to be a functioning bicycle and a a motorbike or a motorized bicycle. I've changed, the only thing I kept on this bike was simply the basic frame. I've changed everything. I've changed the wheels 3 times. I've changed the transmission 3 times. The gas tank twice. I put this cylindrical gas tank, stainless steel, on an aluminum plate. I have front drum brakes like old motorcycles, not like old Harleys. They didn't have front brakes, but that's from a 1902 company from England. Black board track racer. That's what Harley did. It was death-defying stuff. They'd go as fast as they could with no brakes. I have board track double thickness wheels so they can take the strain, because it's doing a hell of a lot more than a bicycle ever did. I have a collapsible basket. And then I just can put on the side with a little clip. I have a box I have permanently mounted on, or a bag I have permanently mounted on, and all my tools and cords and everything. I can do everything with this bike, even a tire inflator, because I have 12 volt now. It's connected to a 12 volt system. There's the tail light. It's registered. I changed the transmission to, like Harley did in 1903 to I don't know what year, 1912 or something, and that's when everything started working fine. That's a 16-inch sheath, a huge belt running this thing, and another belt coming from the engine. But the final drive is the huge belt, and now it runs as smooth as can be. I've done the exhaust 3 or 4 times till I finally figured out something that worked. This corrugated steel is from a solar water heating system. I have a Springer fork, double Springer fork. Harley didn't have that till later. They just rode with nothing, a couple springs in the seat. There's the front headlights. Same as the motorcycles. I have blinkers in the front and back, just like a motorcycle. I can even flash my headlights at people, my bright lights, if they're, I have a 12 volt horn I mounted on the engine. Right there. And it's got a pretty good volume versus a bicycle horn. I put an intake manifold, a curved one, so I wouldn't hit the carburetor if you have to pedal or you want to pedal. And then I put a motorcycle, 125cc motorcycle carburetor on it. So I've done a lot of things. The pedals, been working on this a year. I've changed things. I kept just something to do, but now it is really cool. I have a wide pedal crank so I don't hit the engine. It's 12 inches wide because the engine's fairly wide. I have a cover for the belt drive, but I sort of like the way it looks. I'm debating whether to put the cover on or not, because I like the way it looks. I'll show you in a moment. I have a GPS mounted. That is actually my speedometer, and it gives me all the mileage and what direction I'm going, the average speeds, maximum speeds I happen to go, and of course my iPhone mount. And I listen to music by Bluetooth headphones, wireless headphones. I have a motorcycle mirror, quite a large one. I had 2 of them on, but it just looked too big on this little thing. This little thing gets up and go. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I'm getting thumbs up from all these Harley riders because they knew what I was trying to do. I was trying to make a 110-year-old looking Harley motorized bicycle. So it finally functions. 12 months it took me to finally figure this out. I'll start it up in just a moment. That to show you, I also have a tachometer and a cup holder I can drink. There's my controls. And a USB charging port. That's where I connect my GPS and iPhone. So it's got all the everything and the wiring. I thought I'd want to hide that, but I might just keep it like this. Then I can get at wiring and things. I had to make it fit for this bicycle. You know, it's not a motorcycle and it's pre-made with special frames and all that stuff. So I had quite a bit of work. But here is the motor running. It's quite unique. The other one had a centrifugal clutch right here, and that's it. The thing was jerked, and it had a chain, and the chain broke all the time. But now it's got two pulleys, and the centrifugal clutch is way back here on this side, on the inside, and it runs smoothly to a large belt, just like Harley had, although they have a leather belt. To a 16-inch sheet I connected to these heavy-duty Warcraft Racer wheels. So it's just been a labor of love, but literally it took me a year ago to finally get it working right. But I'm getting thumbs up by all these bikers and things, Harley riders, just because it's pretty cool looking. It moves out pretty well. So this, I'm guessing, is what it felt like to ride a 110-year-old Harley on the streets, except they probably didn't have too many paved roads and everything. Probably a lot of dirt roads and brick if they were lucky. So that's it.